Hey guys, got Gabby here with me today. What's with the sour face?
I don't mean it.
She wanted to make this video with me, despite what her face says. So I wanted to show you guys a great haul that I had over the last couple of days. Most of this stuff came from Tower District Records in my hometown of Fresno, California. Some of it came locally, some of it came through the mail, but it all just kind of worked out into a perfect storm, and just got a lot of great stuff to show you guys. So we're going to start with some cassettes, got some 7-inches, got some LPs, and this really covers kind of the whole gamut. I got rock, I got some soul and R&B, and some 70s, 80s, 90s, all kinds of stuff. So, Gabby, you want to go ahead and get started with the tapes?
Yep.
All right. So, first one here. I don't think too much stuff was coming out on cassette in 2003, but this is My Private Nation by Train. This, to the best of my knowledge, has never come out on vinyl, and like I said, I'm surprised it came out on cassette, considering it was 2003. So looking forward to this. I like this album a lot. I don't stream it a ton, but I've streamed it enough to know that I like it. So.
Yeah, and I went to a Train concert.
Yeah, you did.
All right, next one is
Black
Sabbath.
Yeah, so this is, I just couldn't pass this up. This is Tear. This is the third Black Sabbath album with Tony Martin on vocals. Never seen a cassette copy before. I've got an original vinyl, but this cassette copy was just too cool to pass up. It's a US one on IRS. It's a Columbia House copy, so we'll see how it plays. But that was just too cool to pass up because you just never see those.
We got Fight.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so this is Fight. This is War of Words. For anybody that doesn't know Fight, this is the band that Rob Halford started after he left Judas Priest in the 90s for a spell. And if I remember right, Fight only put out, I think it was 2 records. And this one is the first one. And Fight is, the thing I appreciated about Fight, I guess, is that Rob Halford didn't try to make this band Judas Priest, right? Fight sounds like Fight. They don't sound like Priest, which I think is really good. All right.
Honestly, I have no idea what Fight is.
It's heavy metal.
Then I probably won't like it.
So this is a cool little compilation. I know several of the bands that are on this. This is Party in the Tower, Fresno Rock and Roll from 1980 to 1988. And this is just a compilation of local bands at the time that were putting out some stuff. So there's 4 bands on this. There's the Clams, Radio London, the Directions, and the Pep Boys, and each of them have looks like each of them have 4 tracks on the tape. So looking forward to digging into this and seeing what this is all about.
We're already almost done with the tapes.
Yep. All right, so this is another cool one that you just never see. This is Queensryche, and I say that in quotes. This is Frequency Unknown. So after Jeff Tate left Queensryche, there were some legal issues that ended up giving both bands, or both camps rather, the rest of the band, and then Jeff Tate, it gave both camps some kind of access to the Queensryche name. And so this was Jeff Tate putting out an album as Queensryche with a whole new band. And this is not really considered part of Queensryche's official discography, but I have actually never heard the album before, and I'm really curious to check this out and see how it sounds.
Okay, we got Thin Lizzy.
Yeah, this is a British compilation. This is The Boys Are Back in Town, Thin Lizzy. Thin Lizzy's always been one of those bands that I've always felt like a greatest hits compilation's good enough. I have their Jailbreak album, and that's like it. And so, this I think will probably give me just about all the Thin Lizzy I need.
Alright, I am not sure what this next one says.
Yes. All right. So, complete in the original see-through yellow case. This is Alice in Chains' self-titled album from 1995. Really hoping this one plays all the way through, because those 90s Sony Music cassettes have not proven to be super durable over the years when compared to cassettes that were released by other labels. So really hoping this one plays all the way through, but it's really cool that it's still in the translucent yellow case. It's got a blue cassette shell, which I think is really, really cool. So we'll see.
And that is a very pretty yellow.
Yeah, it is.
It's kind of like the highlighter I use at school. It's kind of like that yellow.
It is. Yeah, it's very similar. Yeah. And do you like the dog on the cover?
All right, last tape, and it's still wrapped.
Ah, yeah. All right. So years ago, I had the chance to buy an original vinyl copy, a U.S. vinyl copy of Bob Dylan's "Time Out of Mind," and I didn't do it. And so I've yet to see another one. Are you seriously Macarenaing on my video? I love this kid. Anyway, so I did the next best thing now. Got a still factory sealed cassette copy of "Time Out of Mind." So I think this is as close as I'm going to get to an analog copy for a while, unless I ever find another vinyl original. But so far, no dice. So really looking forward to this. I love "Time Out of Mind." That was sort of the beginning of Bob Dylan's career resurgence that he had in the late 90s and throughout the 2000s.
And it had a sticker that said best value. So.
Yeah, that just means that they lowered the price a little bit to try and get people to buy it. Okay, so we've got two 7-inches here. The first one is a really nice U.S. copy with the picture sleeve of Strawberry Fields Forever and Penny Lane by the Beatles. So this thing is really, really, really clean. And it's got the original Capitol label and everything. This is just a gorgeous, gorgeous copy. You don't find original Beatles singles in this nice a shape too often. Granted, they sold 11 bajillion of them, but people that had them just played the crap out of them.
And already our last 7-inch.
Yep, so this is the last 7-inch. This is Give Me the Night by George Benson. I didn't notice this when I bought it, but... it was only $2, so when a record's $2, I don't tend to gloss over it too often. But this is actually an Italian pressing. You can see the SIAE stamp on it, so I thought that was kind of cool. And so looking forward to this. I love George Benson's 70s stuff. He was one of those pioneers of smooth jazz, and smooth jazz isn't necessarily something that I'm really super into, but I do like to have the good stuff from the masters, people like Grover Washington Jr. and George Benson and those guys. So
I don't like it. No.
Okay, I'm gonna preface this by saying that I have never seen a copy of this for sale. I have seen this copy framed at numerous record stores, or I've seen this album rather framed at numerous record stores. Usually in the bathroom, for reasons that you will see momentarily. But this is a great comedy album nonetheless, if you can stand vulgar comedy. It says, Red Fox's You Gotta Wash Your Ass. And there he is, washing an ass's ass. Ah, yeah.
No.
Great stuff. I mean, come on, look at that. How do you not love that?
No.
I love this. You can stream this. Stand-up comedy is one of those things that's usually very much a product of its time. And, that album, I think, definitely is. But, if you're old enough to get some of the references that he's talking about on that record, I think you'll get a lot of laughs out of it.
And he has the same face I would.
Oh, yeah, I think most of us would have that same face.
He's just like, P.U.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. All right.
We got Beach Boys.
Yep. So original Beach Boys albums sold in the millions, but they're not getting any easier to find. I think sometimes when people come into record collections, they just kind of toss the Beach Boys stuff aside, figuring it's worthless, and it's just not, man. But here's Shut Down Volume 2. The funny thing about this one is that the Beach Boys actually never did an album of Shut Down Volume 1. Shut Down was actually a compilation. Ma'am. Shutdown was actually a compilation that was done. It was of a bunch of surf music artists on Capitol at the time. But that had the song Shut Down by the Beach Boys on it. And that compilation became so popular because that was the only song on it that became a hit single. And so when it came time to do Shut Down Volume 2, they just had the Beach Boys do all of the album instead of just one song on it. And so this one has, I think the biggest hit on this was probably Fun, Fun, Fun. And there's some other good stuff on here. But yeah, their version of Why Do Fools Fall in Love is incredible. So early Beach Boys stuff is something that I still don't have a ton of in terms of original vinyl. So I've been starting to pick these up anytime I find one that I don't already have.
Okay, this album cover is chaos.
This album cover is chaos. It is, to a point, but it's making a statement. It's making a statement about being alone. And this is Pink Floyd's A Momentary Lapse of Reason. Of course, I have this on vinyl, but this is a pretty good upgrade for me. So I went ahead and grabbed this. Price was good on it and everything. So it's still got the custom inner sleeve and all that. Yeah.
Okay, I don't know who Rockwell is.
So Rockwell was a one-hit wonder in the 80s. He had one hit. It was called Somebody's Watching Me, and it had Michael Jackson on it. And this is the album of his that you just never see from the 80s. This is his second album, Captured. It almost seems to me like he was trying to look a lot like Prince on this album cover. But I've actually never heard this record, but I'm looking forward to it. I like the first album, the one that had Somebody's Watching Me on it. So maybe I'll like this one too. Guess we'll find out. Prince, one of the greatest guitar players ever and one of the most talented pop songwriters in history.
Okay, who is this lady?
So that's a model on the cover because the album is actually by a really great soul singer named Curtis Mayfield. So this is Give, Get, Take, and Have by Curtis Mayfield. This came out in 1976. And, Curtis Mayfield is another one of those guys. Whenever I find album of his that I don't have, I usually go and pick them up because they're always just good. I mean, you always know what you're going to get with a Curtis Mayfield record. So, speaking of Curtis Mayfield, the next album here.
The Impressions?
Yeah, so this is a group called The Impressions. And this is the group Curtis Mayfield was in before he started putting out solo albums. So this is People Get Ready on the ABC Paramount label. And so this is Curtis Mayfield, Samuel Gooden, and Fred Cash. And yeah, so looking forward to this one as well. I love The Impressions. All right, next we got a little bit of 80s rap here.
I'm melting.
Courtesy of MC Light. This is Eyes on This. I love MC Light. Anytime I find her stuff, I always pick it up as well. It's funny. One of my favorite things about MC Light, I always loved her style. But on Heavy D and the Boys album, Nothing But Love, I think it came out in like 93. That album opens up with a bunch of Heavy D's friends just, talking about Heavy D and what a great guy he was. And MC Light was on that recording, and she said, congrats for being back with another album, doing what you do. And she said, the thing I love about Heavy D is that he's one of those types of rappers that you can listen to in front of your mother. And not only that, but your mother will want to listen to it too. I always thought that was a great take. And for whatever reason, anytime I hear MC Light, that's what always comes to my head is her saying that about Heavy D. So here's another one that you just never find. It's My Party and I'll Cry If I Want to. This is an original copy of the first Leslie Gore record. She was 17 when she recorded this. And I've actually never seen one of these in my hands, in person. So really looking forward to checking this out. Leslie Gore, I think, is another one that when people come into record collections, they just kind of look at it and they look at the album cover and they're like, oh, this must be schmaltzy crap, and just throw it on the discard pile. And it's really sad.
I feel bad for the girl on the cover.
No. All right, now we're getting into the heavy hitters.
Oh, this record's heavy.
Yes, that's because there's 4 LPs in it.
What the?
How about an original 1996 pressing, gold promo stamp, unfortunately, but that's the way it is. Original 1996 pressing of of Tupac's All Eyes on Me. Yeah. I've never seen one of these before in my life. And the funny thing is, I was buying vinyl in the 90s as a teenager, brand new at Tower Records and other places, and I never remember seeing any of these 90s albums that I'm gonna show you right now. I never remember seeing any of them new in the bins. This one.
Why is this called Blood on the Dance Floor if it's clean?
Well, yeah. Well, so Gabby let the cat out of the bag. Here's an original 1997 U.S. pressing of Michael Jackson's Blood on the Dance Floor. This was, so I guess the official title is Blood on the Dance Floor, History in the Mix. And so the first side is nothing but new stuff. And then the other three sides are remixes of other tracks from history. So that completes my Michael Jackson library on vinyl. This one, so here's a 1998 original of Jay-Z's Volume 2, Hard Knock Life. Still got the price sticker from Music Factory, probably Music Factory in Brooklyn, New York. And yeah, so this is a double LP. Still got the original inner sleeves on it and everything. So I will take the shrink wrap off. As a matter of fact, you guys are going to do this with me. And I will cut out that hype sticker, of course, and keep that for posterity. But let's go ahead and free this thing from its shrink-wrapped prison.
Why do you always do that?
Because I don't like the way that shrink wrap feels.
No, I meant, like, why do you always cut out the sticker?
Oh, because to me, the hype sticker is part of the album package. Well, you can give me that reaction if you want, but the hype sticker is just a cool little thing to have. So
You make no sense.
I'm not supposed to make sense. I'm your father.
How dare you?
Parents aren't supposed to make sense. I'm not going to make any sense to you until you're in your 20s. Trust me. All right, there we go. Freed from the shrink wrap prison. Beautiful. I will cut that hype sticker out in a little bit.
There's only one more after this.
And it's a biggie.
Boogie.
Well, this one's a biggie. So this is an almost original copy of Green Day's Dookie. This came out in 1993, of course. This still has the insert. And so there were two copies. Oh, I'm sorry, 94. But there were two copies of this that came out in 94. There was a black vinyl copy that had the Ernie from Sesame Street on the back cover. And then it was very quickly pulled and replaced with this airbrushed photo that doesn't have Ernie. And this copy that doesn't have Ernie is actually on pink vinyl. And so, yeah, this still came out in 1994, just a little bit later, and it's still made from the original stampers. So, to me, this is, I mean, yeah, the Ernie thing, but this is more or less, I think, original enough to call it original, at least for my purposes. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm happy Ernie's not on the back. He would be haunting me in my dreams.
Oh, come on. There's nothing wrong with Ernie.
He's creepy.
And then last but not least, a little bit of jazz heat courtesy of my friends at People's Records in Detroit. This is Jammin' in Hi-Fi with Gene Ammons. And this is just a killer record. I have a 1960-ish reissue of this with a completely different cover, completely different catalog number. And so good thing about Gene Ammons records is that even though they're on, a very desirable label and a very desirable time period in jazz, his originals are just never really super expensive. And that's good because I can assure you that if it has Gene Ammons' name on it, it's good. And it's just as simple as that, especially in this era. So this has Gene Ammons on tenor, Idris Sullivan on trumpet, and Jackie McLean on alto. That's a hell of a horn section. And then the rhythm section is Kenny Burrell on guitar, Mal Waldron on piano, Paul Chambers on bass, and Art Taylor on drums. Heard those guys were pretty good. So, yeah. Can't wait to get this bad boy on the turntable.
And now I'm Macarena.
You've been doing that the whole video. That's all we got for you guys. Thanks for watching.